A few minutes ago we had two goldfinches, a male and a female, feeding on the sunflowers. And of course, the moment you go in the house to get the camera, they leave. But it was really cute. Oh, little monarch over there. He's up at the top. No, he went by. What was I going to tell you here? Oh yeah, I was going to explain why I grow sunflowers and catnip. And I let my lettuce bolt. And some suggestions for attracting bees to your garden. Sunflowers attract bees, and the more flowers the better, which is another reason that I went to miniature sunflowers this year. And the seeds feed goldfinches and other birds that can cling. So that's something, it's a good thing to do if you want to attract bees. Catnip. That's what all this mess over here is. You've been seeing that all season. Catnip attracts bees even when the flowers have gone by. They still keep coming back and trying to pollinate. They're just wild about catnip. So that's another good attractant. And if you have some lettuce, just let it bolt. Bees love those flowers too. And another good attractant is lavender. And if you don't want to grow lavender as a perennial, most of the varieties they sell in the garden centers, like Spanish lavender and French lavender, won't survive the winter in zone 5. So you can grow them as annuals, and they will give you flowers, and they'll give you lots and lots of bees. So I'm going to sit here and wait for the goldfinches to come back, but outside of that, that's all I have to say for today. I'll see you later. Getting a record of this because this is Music Box. It's having its best summer ever. And it did get attacked some by Japanese beetles. But I managed to get rid of those, and I think that season is pretty much over because Japanese beetles have a season. Anyway, what does not have a season is squash bugs. And we had about 6 or 7 pumpkins. We've lost 2 of them. Well, we lost one already. Probably going to lose another one in the coming days because squash bugs. What they do is they attack the leaves first. They lay eggs all over the leaves and kill the leaves. And then once the pumpkins start coming, they sit on the pumpkins and chew on those, and disease gets into the pumpkin, and the next thing you know, you have a little smelly bag of water sitting on the end of the vine. So we're in the middle of a rainy period, so I can't spray. I did spray last night, but there wasn't supposed to be no rain last night, and all of a sudden we had thunderstorms come through, so that didn't work out too well. But maybe I killed a few squash bugs. As I can't find one right now, I can't show you what they look like. They're kind of a beigey gray, and about an inch, well, half an inch long, and they have orgies in your garden all over your pumpkins. Here is a picture of their eggs, which I am going to cut that part of the leaf off. That does work. It doesn't appear to hurt the plant. It hurts the plant more when you take an entire leaf off. But people say that they knock the leaves off knock the eggs off the leaves. I cannot do that for the life of me. So I just take a garden scissors and cut away the part of the leaf where the eggs are and throw it in the garbage. There is a problem when they put the eggs right at the bottom of the leaf where it joins the vine. Then you can't really cut the part of the leaf off. You have to cut the whole leaf off. But anyway, sunflowers. We had, I guess, high winds last night and kind of wrecked some of them, but they're still doing well. Had a really cute opportunity at a video the other day when two goldfinches were courting and eating sunflower seeds. They were courting each other and eating the sunflower seeds. They haven't been back since, unfortunately. There isn't really much to eat right now because the flowers are still in bloom. But yeah, I found another sunflower that's really interesting. This one bloomed after all of the other ones. Right here. And I have marked it for saving the seeds. There we go. And that dark one, of course, I've marked for saving the seeds too. It was over here, but I can't get a picture of the front of it right now. And this is Howden. Howden is an ordinary vining pumpkin. And Howden has a baby pumpkin on it, which I am going to... It is growing. It was pollinated a couple days ago. And I am going to be working vigorously on that one to save it from the squash bugs. And what do you use on squash bugs? Be Safe makes no claim that it does anything for squash bugs, and indeed it does not. It's more for soft-bodied insects. Ortho 3-in-1 controls them a little, doesn't get rid of them. What gets rid of them eventually is 7. But it takes a few treatments. 7 is S-E-V-I-N. Most people use the dust. I don't like doing that. I use the liquid. Maybe the dust works better. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's getting rid of the squash bugs before they get rid of my entire garden here. And this is definitely neither a magic lantern nor a Corvette pumpkin. This is a vining pumpkin of some kind. And there's a little bee. Hi, the bee. And it does have a female flower on it. It's very tiny, very round. It's about pea-sized. And I don't know what I've got on the camera right now. Let's see. There. You got it. It's pea-sized, perfectly round. Could be a gourd. Could be a small pumpkin. We'll see what it is. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's got bigger leaves and pumpkin, well, not really. Pumpkin size does not correspond to the size of the leaves. I think the leaves are too big for a miniature pumpkin plant though. Could also be not a summer squash. That would be a different shape, I think. I don't know what that could be. But we'll find out. I know that one female flower probably won't take, but we'll see. Anyway, here's my compost heap. Slowly filling up with tomatoes that some little critter is eating. I'm not sure what little critter. I was going to blame somebody, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. What have we got? I'm going to show you some of those pumpkins. And the one that I lost that turned into a bag of water was the biggest one, of course. Alright, over here, I believe that is a magic lantern. And that's about softball size. And there's another magic lantern. And where else we got? We've got Corvette. Right now, at this point in the season, I'm a little more impressed with Corvette than with Magic Lantern. Like I said, I hadn't grown Magic Lantern in over a decade. And I don't know where that pumpkin is. Here it is. There's the pumpkin. That's a Corvette. And I had forgotten, I know I liked it at one point, but my standards must have been lower. Corvette is definitely healthier and seems a little bit more resistant to squash bug damage. Of course, no pumpkin can really overcome that kind of damage. What else do we have here? I know we have a few more pumpkins. But anyway, that's what I can find today. We're starting to get ripe tomatoes, which you can see there. We're going to have a ripe Melrose in another couple of days, Melrose pepper. And this has fooled you. And remember, I gave up hope about getting peppers from Fooled You, but it looks like we're going to get some. One of them is actually fairly large. Over here. Right there. So, yeah. And we're getting lots and lots of ripe tomatoes. There we go. Okay, I'll put some blame. This is a small one. Like I said last week, big beef does grow in clusters, and usually clusters of about 4. And when they're in clusters like that, they grow very, very nicely to a big size. But I was getting clusters of 7 or 8, and because of that, some of the tomatoes on the bottom of the vine are very, very small. But that's okay. And this is what came up from seed. Last year's seed, it reseeded itself. This is beefsteak, and that's starting to produce. Beefsteak is very late, so that's okay. And it also came up from seed in the garden, so it's good that we're getting anything at all. And over here, this is a combination of those little cherry tomatoes that I get every year, and also the heirloom that came up in my garden suddenly about 3 years ago. And getting a lot of chipmunk damage, but yeah, there's an heirloom right there. But hopefully I'll have a few heirlooms that I can eat, or at least share with people. I don't know where. This camera is so goofy. There's the heirloom. And over here, we'll end the video on Bush Champion. And Bush Champion is the best cucumber I've grown since I've been out here, I think. Definitely trying it again next year. And also, you'll see again next year Melrose pepper, Fooled You jalapeno if it's indeed not that hot. And definitely, I think, Corvette pumpkin. There we go. Yeah, we'll do Corvette again next year. And we'll go back to my old standby Racer Plus. So it'll be Corvette and Racer Plus next year. And the reason for that, I like Corvette's sturdiness. And Racer Plus, most pumpkins give you 1 to 2 pumpkins per vine, maybe 1 to 3. Corvette. Racer Plus, you get up to 4. Now they do get progressively smaller as you get more pumpkins, but you can get up to 4 pumpkins, and you get a huge yield from a small patch like this. So next year, Racer Plus will be back. Okay, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week. One more thing I forgot. I thought I should explain to you the 3 products I've used. Be Safe I was using last year, and of course I have to stress it makes no claim that it controls squash bugs, and indeed it does not. There's another pumpkin. Okay, that's a Corvette. That's pretty big. Okay, anyway, Be Safe is safer for bees. It does control soft-bodied insects, and it controls powdery mildew fairly well. So it's all natural. And then there's Ortho 3-in-1, which is another natural product. It's stronger than Be Safe. It's got paraffin in it. It does offer some control of squash bugs. It offers great control of Japanese beetles, and although I never really get cucumber beetles in this garden, I haven't seen any at all this year, not even one. So I think it probably controls those 2. And the third product is Sevin, S-E-V-I-N. Most people use the dust, as I said before. I use the spray. That offers great control of squash bugs. Not 100% elimination, but it chases them off. It kills them pretty well. Other techniques I've heard of in our backyard growers society, pumpkin growers society groups, plucking the adult squash bugs off the vines and dropping them into soapy water, and or spraying them with soapy water. You'll have to look online for recipes for the soapy water. It's nothing more than dishwashing liquid, I believe. I tried that in years past. It's about as good at controlling squash bugs, well, as plucking the eggs off the vines. It kills a few of them, it drives the rest off. But I'm not doing it, let's put it that way. But if you're interested in a natural way, a natural control for squash bugs, there's your answer. Give it a try. And I'll leave this week with a close-up of some squash bug eggs. Talk to you later. Getting tired of me yet? One more PS before I leave. I thought I'd better provide a primer on how to use insecticides in case you have never done that. Sevin, S-E-V-I-N, is an outright poison, so I would wear protective gear. Also, only spray the vines. Even though pumpkin vines only bloom in the morning, it's in this area it's before 10 o'clock a.m. and then the flowers wither and the bees move on. I would still only spray at dusk and only when you don't see any bees around. Similar thing for Ortho 3-in-1, even though it is a so-called natural product. It's a little less dangerous to you, but it's dangerous to the bees, so only spray in the evening when the bees are gone. Be Safe. You can spray, I'd say, once the flowers close, by noon. And this of course refers to pumpkins because cucumber flowers stay open all day. But yeah, I would only spray late in the morning or any other time of the day. Even though it is safer for bees, it's not 100% safe. So yeah, that is a primer on how to use sprays, and also spray the underside of the leaves too, not just the top. Okay, now I will see you next week.